Somebody stop me. So let's talk a little bit about limitations, okay? And shout out to Vybez Kartel and welcome back to the free world, brother. No one deserves to be locked up for over 5 years. That's a whole lifetime taken. You see, the cooling my brain, the sun in Leo really been heating up the brain, so no one deserves to be locked up, okay? The so-called laws that you are still following were left behind by the people who created your systems, okay? For example, someone is going to steal a chicken and they'll be jailed for 40 years, but a governor in Wajil can steal billions of shillings and no one is going to go to prison. The Timol interchange, your interchange ya Timol can cost us 6 billion. Interchange peke yake si barabara and no one is gonna go to prison. So that just shows you how fake a world we are living in. But the world is so artificial, that is why it's called a simulation. Oh man. Ah man, I should have gotten more sleep. Anyway, back to the live. So people will tell you that we live in a simulation without an understanding that it goes deeper than you think. Every time you dig into the rabbit hole, you discover that the old world is gone. We are now in a new world where the old world is gone. If you have been following the Olympics, the Arena Games, distractions from the Lionsgate portal, utaona kuna watu wana participate in shooting without all that fancy gear. Unajua they make Olympic look like it's such a fiasco, it's such a drama to lock people out. It's ridiculous. Like when it comes to like shooting, ati mtu amevaa nini masikio ati asisikie bunduki, amevaa glasses sijui kona katikitu hapa kakitu kimoja kamefunika macho moja, anashika gun afanye. But this guy just came with just a gun. He doesn't need headphones and anything, and he got the silver. You saw how they leaked the game, World Cup, the finals between USA and South Sudan. That was on purpose, okay? As far as we know, the 2024 basketball champions is South Sudan. Hiyo ingine yote walifanya, hiyo ingine yote ni drama. Now, for those of people who have been following or who have been coming to the soul group or who know about numerology, you are going to discover that the person who scored for them was wearing jersey number 6. Okay? Jersey number 6. For a reason. For a reason. Now, if you guys didn't know, ama tuache maneno ya magnetism, let me talk about it. If you guys didn't know, they know today that basketball is a game that is fixed. It's a fixed game. Most of the basketball will be fixed game. Ukitaka kujua, after this live, you can write it down. After this live, get on YouTube and type in basketball and magnetism. Basketball and magnetism. Then you are going to understand what I'm talking about. As far as we know, South Sudan are the champions basketball players in the world. Whatever happened with that guy who was wearing jersey number 6, when you wanajua what that means, they know what we saw. It's not for the small mind, it's not for the sheep mind to understand what was happening. When you wanajua, we know everything. Let me show you. Let me just show you. South Sudan and the USA basketball finals. Images. Go to images. Perfect. I want to see his jersey, not here. Where is his jersey? Come on now. USA versus Sudan. USA versus South Sudan basketball final shot. Right there. Go to the images. Right there. The three-pointer. Go to the three-pointer. This guy who scored the three-pointer. Where is that jersey? Number 6. Do they show it? Wait, let me see if they're going to show it. Or you have to go to the game to see it. I think you have to go to the game. Oh, it's right there. So let me zoom in for you. Oh, you can't see because of the green. You can't see because of the green screen. Anyway, it's right there. So now, that's what the basketball. Then the guy who was shooting in the range. No, there was another one. The number 13 who was wearing the number 13. So it's all numerology based on the plans that they have. Now, this is why we are going to talk about this in this live. Now, anytime you see limitations, anytime you see some form of limitation, God did not create limitation. Anytime you see some form of limitations, it is man-made. Anytime you see a Maasai Mara game reserve, it is man-made. Anytime you see a Nairobi National Park, it is man-made. Anytime you see any form of limitation, national park, military camps, police stations, any form of limitation is man-made. It was crafted. When you go into nature, aka outside, and you observe for yourself, there's no limitations. Look at a tree. A tree will grow through an electric pole, no limitations. Unaona unakuta electric pole yote ndani ni tube, but through it something has grown. Okay? This world has no limitations. Any limitations in this world is man-made. All the way to the point you are going to see a mogomo tree growing on a house. Go to the city of Nairobi. Unaona trending TikTok, mtu akisema ati this fig tree had sent its roots over 100 meters. There's no limitations in this world. Any limitation is man-made. God is no limit. Shout out to No Limit Records. God is all possibilities. And this is what we are going to break down. Every time you see some form of limitation, okay, understand this, that the more you can expand that limitation, okay, the more you can expand it, then you become the owner of that intellectual right. So you are bringing God to that limited shape and form. So whenever you are feeling limited, or wherever you go and you find some limitation, understand that it is your duty, you now as a spirit, to expand that, to bring God to that limitation. Because that form of limitation has been constructed by some form of confusion. Some form of confusion, aka we are all starting from the wrong point. For example, when the whites came to your country, they decided to enforce their own limitations on the migration of animals. AKA, they blocked off huge tracts of land and called them conservations. Conservations. What do you need to conserve? You cannot conserve anything in this world. Everything is wild. Those are wild animals. But you see, since you don't know how they crafted the law, you don't know that this is a practice. Creating national parks is a practice. I just saw you the other day start talking about, Joe, we have mines, oh, we have gold, oh, we have things. It's limitation. It's constructed on what you call confusion. Anytime you see a limitation, whether it is about Vybez Kartel, whether it's about Assange being released from prison, understand that it has come from either one, there was a bias. Some people were like, no, we cannot have these animals crossing from Kenya, going to Tanzania, going to Mozambique. So create a national park to make sure they don't leave, so that you can only come to Kenya, aka the land to the east, the equator, to come and see these animals. So what you are calling tourism is created. It's not that Kenya has like all those animals. No, remember what I said, limitations. So these animals are conserved. Unasikianga tuko na conservancy. They are stopped from moving. So even your whole tourism industry has been created on what you can call a bias, or there's what you can call a contradiction. And all those are what you call Luciferian energies. Now, the question should be, so who are these people who are crafting these national parks, who are demarcating these pieces of land, calling them Kegio Conservancy, Laikipia Conservancy, or a Pejeta Conservancy, what is the other stupid man? This stupid man, Choromodore of what do you call this ranch in Naivasha hapa, Lake Melemtaita. Atunasikia ati Lake Melemtaita, according to UNESCO, is a world heritage. It is protected. No, it belongs to the people who are in that land. In this case, that would be Kenya. What do you mean it's a UNESCO heritage, world heritage? This does not belong to the world. You cannot move from Kenya and go to another country and claim that that is a concern. So I want to show you how it's done. And the reason why. Leave the small talk. Okay? It's called regurgitating knowledge. At we have gold. Oh, you know these mines. No, that is the story. Remember, they tell you, you want to discuss vingi gold, so they are telling you the story. That's not the story. Okay? Anytime you see a limitation, you're supposed to go and expand on that limitation. Because how they form those limitations, we are talking about the Luciferian agencies. So think about it like this. We have animalistic tendencies. That is why we talk of Noah's natures na vitu kama hizo. Okay? So these are like life forms, aka your thoughts and feelings are like your life forms. Okay? So this will be the Gentiles. When you read the Bible, when it's talking about the Gentiles were not people. The Gentiles are anytime, like all your governors are Gentiles. And remember, the people who came to this side, the Arabs, your dark Arabs, we are the lost tribe. AKA the people whom they raped and pillaged and looted from, AKA your grandmother, your great-grandmother, who they took their religious practice away from them and they gave them this nonsense that all of you are following now. So every time you are acting like a dick or out of nature, it is when you are lost in what you call your root chakras, or when you are becoming a Gentile. So the word Gentiles come from the genitals. Anytime you are acting more out of your desires, acting out more on your animalistic nature, so you don't care about other people, so you can decide, okay, in Nairobi National Park, watu wa Kibera muna mahali ya kujenga, we are going to put a fence here and conserve this for animals. Watu wanafanya nini Kibera? Hawana nyumba. And across Kibera kuko na land endless, inaweza shikana na Rongai. Why are we saving all this land when people need the land more than the animals? But you see, you don't know how these things are created or crafted. It is to make you think that you cannot develop Nairobi. Come 2026, mark your dates. Mark your dates. 2026. 2026. Mark your date. 2026. There will be a gazetted announcement on the plans to move the Nairobi National Park by thousands of kilometers. Ni watu wa Kibera watapewa shamba? Hapana. Hapana, si watu wa Kibera. The Arabs are coming to build. Okay? So, this is the Gentile practice which is in the Bible, which you don't know how to practice because you're supposed to be practicing this. AKA, whenever you are in a what you call a self-serving energy, okay? And sometimes you may even deny it. So you are going to deny that this energy exists. So because it's all about self-serving energy, you deny that, oh, no, we are deciding to move the animals from Nairobi National Park because they have been, what they are going to do, they are going to release a few lions in Rongai. Okay, then they are going to go to maybe, let's say, the National Mortuary and steal like 5 bodies. Steal them. They can return them. Si mortuary mwili kichukuliwa inarudishangwa. So they'll go pick them at the night. Some people will be paid to do that. Dump them in around Rongai. Allow a few lions, and some people are going to, keyword, spot the lions at night attacking people. So the lions will be shot, like 5 lions. And so there will be a bill in parliament saying that the lions are becoming unsafe for the people of Rongai. So it has to be moved, the park. And when the park is moved, the Arabs are already waiting to buy the place to create their own Little Dubai. I want to show you how these things are crafted. Because you are too lost in this world, the artificial world, you don't know how to see these things. Okay? So now, to deny that they are acting what you call the self-serving energies, acting out, they are going to come out with what you call a passive aggressive. Remember, these things are crafted. No, don't just look at a word without understanding where it's coming from. Listen to this. Define passive aggressive.
This is the definition of passive-aggressive, of behavior, characterized by indirect resistance to the demands of others and avoidance of direct confrontation.
So since they cannot afford a direct confrontation with the people and telling them we are taking over your national park, kwa sababu ndasema hapana colonization, no, they act what you call passive-aggressive. Umesikia definition? Define passive-aggressive.
Here's the definition of passive-aggressive, of behavior, characterized by indirect resistance to the demands of others and avoidance of direct confrontation.
So, what happens is that they come to you, okay, seeming to suit to some natures, aka mkiona watu wameuliwa na simba kwa gazeti, watu waine, but remember hakuna mtu amekufa na simba. These are just bodies. We went to mortuary, tukachukua na tukaachilia simba kadhaa, zilikuwa zimedungwa dawa, tukazichoa Nairobi National Park, tunalipa mkubwa wa National Park, kill a few lions. Who matters? It's $1 billion property next to JKIA and the bypass. You are getting it, which is an industrial park next to the ICDE containers port. Remember, everything we were saying back in 2017 and 2018 has come to pass. All the way to, that is something to go to mesema 2018 and 2017. Now I'm telling you about how your national park is going to go. Kwa sababu bado hamtakuwa mnafikiria, mtasema, oh my God, umeona hizo simba zimeua watu. Pay attention. I'm always ahead of the game, because I observe the patterns. When you are distracted with the newspapers, I'm observing the patterns. Kuna ndege hazifai kuwa zikiingia Kenya, zinaingianga Kenya. And once you start seeing those planes, in our skies, you need to have a flight watch, and you need to know what type of planes to look out for. Assuming you're a farmer, na uko na mbuzi, you have sheep and goats that you are rearing. There are some certain animals, if you see a fox, unajuanga, mbuzi zangu haziko sawa. Let's say, tutoke huko, hamuna kitu, you are all poor. Sema uko na kuku mbili, tukulia ligi ya, tucheze ligi ya chini. Tuachane na ligi so. Kuna kuku, wewe ukiweka kuku, ukiangalia nje uone mwewe, unaanza kusema, mutigire tu sweet unane tu uko ulio. Mwewe, plain, unajuanga kimeumana. There are some figures, when you see them in your country, you know that shit is coming. Now you have to follow their practice to know what is happening. These are the people who are able to finish a whole town. For example, tuteme hiyo mate, because I'm just warning you before you jump. Oh my God, it's ecological disaster. I'm just warning you. Open your mind. Stop being small-minded. Stop these small dick minds. Think big. Stop these dry ovary minds where you ovary and never get with wisdom. Now, if we wanted to finish Diani as a tourism, if they want to finish Diani as a tourism, when they are done with Diani, all they have to do is have an oil tanker. Oil tanker have, in quotes, an accident. An oil tanker had, in quotes, an accident and spilled millions of gallons of oil. That is the end of Diani. Diani Reef, that is the end of tourism. That is the end of white people coming to your country. Hakuna kitu inakuanga ni by accident. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just want you to open your mind. I just want you to open your mind on what you call imitation. Okay? On what is called passive-aggressive. On how the war moved from guns. They got tired of killing you. They got tired of knocking on everybody's door. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dave. Dave who? Dave with a big dick. Shoot you. So they got tired of hanging people upside down, Peter and Paul. So they moved into psychological warfare, or what you call spiritual warfare. Okay? So now, for something to suit to the outcome of someone, to their nature, leading to their favor, keyword, to their favor, you cannot swim in Diani, there's an oil spill. So everybody starts selling land, samaki zinakufa. So they come and they buy that land now, cheaply, because hakuna tourism. Everybody is abandoning. Oh, Diani was good. Oh, there was an oil spill. Oh, the fish died. Remember, it was not an oil tanker disaster. It was planned. Okay? So the outcome leads to their favor. So get 4 lions, steal 4 bodies from City Mortuary, throw them in Rungai, pretend someone was driving at night and was able to spot the lion eating the dead people, have KWS come and shoot them, pay a few people to uproll and go to the street, protect our children, we cannot be eaten by lions, have someone come and act and say, my husband has left me with 4 children, naomba serikali nisaidie kulea watoto, have the government jump in, pretend it happened and say, we have heard your cries, we are going to move the national park by 50 kilometers inside. Remember, it was on purpose. Watu wa Kibera watapewa wakajenge, watu wa Rungai watapewa wakijenge, the land still belongs to the government. Now, your President Ruto the other day, he came up with a plan the moment he got into office of privatizing all government institutions. Privatizing means selling. Never forget that. Never forget privatizing means selling. Anything that is private, huwezi ingia. Ukienda mahali unaenda unakuta private, do not trespass, huwezi ingia. So the president's first steps of getting in power was to say, we are privatizing poster. We are privatizing. Keyword. So when KWS moves, it is going to be privatized. Who are going to buy? The Arabs. The land, sasa nyinyi muende Tatu City mukafinyane, wao waeke ICDC company hapa container karibu na bypass, Southern bypass, ICD container na Wilson. Now, Wilson, I want you people to wake up. Unless we wake up and understand how this game is played, you will continue to be shafted with no lube. Now, so where do you come in sasa wewe? Because this is mental games. I want to show you where you are coming in, because you cannot help everyone. And you are not actually even here to help anybody. You are here to do it for yourself. Okay? So, we have said it before. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Because we are all practicing witchcraft in this world. You just need to face it towards the right individual. So the government practices witchcraft on you, mental games, but they are directing it to you and manipulating you. Oh, we had lions. Oh, there was an oil spill. Na vitu kama hizo. Okay? But to do it God's way, you are not supposed to be manipulating the people. You are supposed to be manipulating the job. Okay? For example, Right now, everything that is happening is preparing you, your mind, for the coming elections. Already muko election season. Sijui kama mshajua muko elections. Unajua nyinyi naona tu mkiongea nane ati nane kabla ya saa 8 Eldoret. Tumerudi election season. These people have been in office for only 18 months na musharudi election season. So instead of manipulating the job, instead of the people working in the government to do what you send them to do, they are manipulating the people. Nane kabla ya saa 8. This is what you need to know, that these are seasons. Every 4 years, you watching me, it is your time to open your hand and mouth. As above, so below. We're in Leo season, Lionsgate. And you're supposed to use your highest form of intelligence. Okay? So when they're saying it, and they're saying it cannot be done, ati hatuna pesa ya kubadilisha katiba, hakuna pesa ya kufanya hii, tutungojee 2017, unafaa kuask only one question. Why not? Don't try to make sense with them. Don't try to say, oh, you know, the government has no money. You know, this is going to distract us. You know, the question you should be having on your mind is only one. Why not? Oh, you have to wait for 2027, your chance. We don't want to wait. Oh, you know, oh, money is creating the CBC. We don't give a shit. We can volunteer. We can volunteer in those poll stations. Hata tutaki kulipwa. We can volunteer to see the change that we want. But this is not a political video. So forget about politics. And if you are a real man, because most of you are boys, if you are a real man, if you have real balls, if your balls are already not too much destroyed by the additive they have in soy, if you have a real Adam's apple, okay? Because there are some godly people in government. It doesn't mean that the government is all corrupt. No, even inside the government, we have God's people. When I say God's people, I don't mean people who go to the church. No, there are God's people there, okay? Make sure, now this is my message to you now. If you are godly and you're in a place of power and you know yourself, then you also have people who are godly and they are powerful, but they don't know. But if you know, it's your time to make God possible, especially for Kenya. Make new possibilities to make God possible in Kenya. Make new possibilities to make new possibilities for Kenya now. Make new possibilities to make someone believe again. If there are people who are walking on this world before you, who made new possibilities to convince your shosho and your grandmother that men were walking on water, wewe unajua saizi hakuna mtu anaweza kuja. Imagine you don't know about the Bible. Let's assume you don't know. Haujaiona, hujaisikia. Now let's assume I come out of nowhere na nikupeleke mahali kuna maji nikwambie, you know a man used to walk on water. Utaniambia waacha ujinga wewe. Kumbafu, toka hapa. If you hadn't heard about the story in a book and it was repeated over and over and you didn't hear it with some hymns and songs attached and sermons and hymns and bells and crosses, what you call symbols. Kama ungemechezewa hiyo witchcraft yote, mtu akujianza kukwambia ati wait, you know you can walk on water, ungemwambia toka hapa uache ujinga. Okay? So the same possibilities that made people believe you can walk on water, the same possibilities that made people believe that a fish swallowed a man, is the same possibilities we have in this world. It is the same possibilities where they make you think that a ship got stuck on the Suez Canal in Eito Evergreen. It is the same possibility that they have to convince you that a ship imebeba oil can be grounded na imwage oil ya Ribu Beach. It is the same possibilities mental where they can make new possibilities and you push that Langata Animal National Park 50 miles. So they go step by step. Step by step. They're like, we need more land. Arabs, we need more land. Kwa nini? Isili tunafinyana sana. So what do we do? Pea kakitu, pea our president, waita kijana ya mountain. No, we don't need the mountain. There's nothing in the mountain. Pea our few politics, create something. Then I have a plan. What plans? You know, we Arabs, we play with lions in the house, yeah. Let's create a store in Longai. Let's have a few bodies there show up and kill a few lions, make them angry, pay a few people. Say we are moving the national park, we buy it. Put containers, ICDC, Southern Bypass. Is that really possible? Come here, my brother, come here. Mbona unakaa ni kama wewe ni mgeni? What do you mean? Bring your dictionary. Unaleta dictionary, unafikiria ni kitu mzuri sana, unapeana dictionary, unaambiwa fungua dictionary, unafungua. Unaambiwa enda hapo kumeandikwa passive aggressive, unaenda. Uko passive aggressive, yes. Mental witchcraft. Play the game. So the same people who were able to convince your grandmother that a donkey was talking, the same people who were able to convince Mene tekeri sikitete at your finger was writing on the wall, is the same people running the world today. Okay? It is the same people who made your great-grandfather believe that 2,000 years ago, Noah was a real person, that 2,000 years ago, someone was swallowed by a fish, that 2,000 years ago, all those stories, those minds are still floating in this world. If yesterday you saw me, tukiwa na Kimani wa Matangi, tukipeana chakula, tukipeana kuku, tukipeana unga, mahindi, si mahindi itakuwa unga, na fertilizer, not because I care about politics, but because I'm in everything. As a man, I have to be religion, business, sports, what you call entertainment, politics, okay? And nigari nimeacha. I'm in business. You all know about my businesses. Gym management, personal training, Body by Richie, that's my company. Pet Bite, that's my other company. Selling pet food. Universal Supplies, that's my other company. I supply washing machines, chuma, vitu kama hizo, industrial products. So I'm in business. Religion, you have seen me in church. Any church can welcome its doors for me. PCA wengi, mapasta yenyu wa PCA wengi wanakujanga kwangu kuniuliza what to preach. Those who are closer to me, they can attest to that some of your big church leaders, nowadays I don't work with them. They like that. Okay? So take over everything. As a man, take over business, religion, entertainment. I'm the best entertainer out there. You can find my books, storybooks, in a bookstore near you very soon. Okay? So, if I cannot believe someone, ile kitu alisema jana, Wamatangi alikuwa anaongea mahali, shout out to that governor of Kiambu. I respect him for dropping his balls. Beyond that, I don't respect any other thing. I only respect Wamatangi, but he has balls of steel. He can really drop his balls. And I'm proud of anyone who drops his balls against oppression. Courtesy of Tattoo City, when wanafuata hiyo story. Apart from that, I don't really care about him. Namuambie governor Wamatangi, kutoka Gitaru, kutoka Wangige, from Wangige, going all the way to Ruaka, Jegawa Muthaka is not comfortable driving in darkness. Kuna mataa na hizo mataa ziwake. So if you are watching me, na unajua Wamatangi, mwambie Jegawa Muthaka said, kutoka Wangige, kuenda Ruaka mataa zifanyi kazi. Na anaishi hiyo area, sijui hata kwa nini hajajua hivyo. But Wamatangi is home before 6 p.m. So hajakuangi nje usiku. By 6 he's back to his home. But someone get the message to him. Wamatangi, Jegawa Muthaka amesema nikitoka Gitaru nisikuwe napata giza nikienda Ruaka. Juu giza inaanzianga hapa Wangige. Kutoka Wangige mpaka Magunas hakuna mataa ya barabara, yote imezimika. It's a very dark and lonely road. Shout out to Wamatangi. Now, if everything Wamatangi alisema jana, tukipeana kuku na fertilizer na mahindi, and this video is not even sponsored by him, I'm sponsored by no one. Ile maneno yote alisema jana kama siezi amini. Whatever he was talking, I know is just buying votes. Kama siezi amini, what makes you think I can buy a story that is 2,000 years old? What makes you think that I can believe someone just sat and they woke up one day and said, oh my God, this is called an atom? What makes you think neza amuka one day ni believe mtu alisema ati, oh my God, this is called gravity? There's nothing like gravity. Hakuna kitu kama gravity. Hakuna kitu ungekuwa unaisikia kikufinya shoulder inakufinyilia chini. Story ya gravity ukitaka, subscribe to the channel. Those are some of the things will be inside the channel. The real esoteric meaning of gravity, of what you call orito. Nikyo, when you go to someone unamwambianga, do you get the gravity of the situation? The gravity of the situation, orito. The density, the thickness. You are following? So, pay attention. These are distractions that are being played on you. These are distractions. The prize. Wakiongea maneno ya mashamba, they don't care about your land. The prize ni land kama Nairobi National Park. Wameongeza parks Maasai Mara. Why do you think they have increased the prices of Maasai Mara? Ndio mshindwe kuenda Maasai Mara. Wewe pengine watching me right now, you never get to see Maasai Mara. The prices will be too ridiculous for you to ever get to Maasai Mara. Na ni yenyu. The same way mnakujanga maua na kahawa na mkunywangi mnakula takataka. You never see Maasai Mara with your own eyes. I do hope you get to see it though. But with the way the education you have been given and the oppression, the prices, now what they have set up for you is going not to be easy for you. I have to break it down for you. I have to break it down for you. I can't lie to you that it's going to be easy going ahead. It's going to be easy for the children of God. But the people who are distracted is not going to be easy. All those laws, all those bills should not pass. None of them should pass. None of them should pass. Because one is a pointer to the next. Hata mkisimamisha moja, the other one will lead to that. What did I tell you? Passive aggressive. Mental witchcraft. Na nimekupa example. All you need is sedate a few lions from Nairobi National Park. Sedate them. Zidungwe shindano. Go and release them in Rongai. Have a few people spot them. Of course, the few people ni wenye watakuwa wana stream. Wamelipwa. Your government bloggers wenye walipangwa 500 waharibu protest the Gen Z. Cheap government bloggers paid in hundreds. They can't wait to get on their knees as long as they are sucking dick inside the parliament. That's all they take. That's all it takes for them to be in State House. All these influencers, mnaona akina Jogosh, these are distractions. Tuko maandamano, Jogosh unaita show ya nini? Na umeita show na uwezi ongea maneno ya Ruto. Wewe unakuja unatuchekesha nini Jogosh? All these are government projects. All these are government projects. Muliwaona State House, but you miss the point. You're always missing the point. Muliwaona State House. Muliona akina Butita. Muliona akina Pauline wameingia ndege. You are the puppets. You are the puppets. The moment you wake up, hatuko mahali ya kucheka. Sijui munajaza ati sold out show ya Jogosh Muki. Munajaza sold out. We are not in a laughing time bana. Your children are at risk. We have no time for comedy. But you're never waking up to the reality of what is happening. They are laughing at you. Passive aggressive. Passive aggressive. Now, as we are speaking right now as I'm making this live, something is happening in the skies. Ingia kwa freight tracker sahi. Ingia freight tracker. Angalia zile ndege ziko kwa hewa. Not the normal planes. The other planes. Kuna ndege ziko juu. Wewe unajua uje uangaliangi juu. Wewe unashindanga kwa simu. Wewe kazi yako ni kuangalia chini. You never look up. The only type you look up ni sasa unajifanya umeshikwa na roho kanisa ya JCM. Ama ukitaka kuoshwa miguu na pasta hapo, akupatie arthritis of the foot. Ama Kanyari ametoka kufinga mtu kwa kukumwagilia pombe hapa na that is the only time you look up. Kanyari niguze na hiyo roho ya nonsense. So this game is beyond what you think is happening. And let me alert you, mapema, because a lot of your spiritual teachers are disappearing. And I said this last time. They are disappearing. And it's bad when real spiritual teachers start abandoning you. But most of them are done with you. Most of them are just done with you. I'm not talking about the people on the internet. No, I'm talking about real, true, spiritual teachers. They are leaving. They are done with this world. They are disappearing one by one. Wanazima simu na wana disappear. Not disappearing as in dying. No, they are just getting offline, getting off grid, and they are done. Unless now you know where to find them. Sasa utajuaje kwenye utawatoa na hata uwajui. You don't even know them, so how will you even know where to find them? Follow the practice. Follow the money. Then utajua what is happening. But as we are saying, it's a little bit too late to be really honest. The game has already been sold, but you can still negotiate your breadcrumbs. Because that's all you're gonna get. You can still negotiate your breadcrumbs. Create communities. Tafadhali. You cannot survive in the world we are going into, the new world that we have just ushered in. By the time the sun moves into Virgo, says the sun is in Leo, the Lion of Judah. By the time the sun moves into, hata nafaa kuwa nimevaa kofia, Lion of Judah, should change this. Lion of Judah. By the time the sun moves into Virgo, the plans they have been laying down, because Sophia is already born. The witchcraft they did for Sophia is already born. So after the Olympics, hula baloo and all that, before we get into the Virgo season, Virgo is the discipline or the trickster. Virgo is Maria Immaculate. Virgo is the Virgin Mary, aka you can get pregnant without sleeping with a man. That bullshit. That's where they are waiting for you. So that before you get to Libra, watajua kuwatoshanisha. Before you get to Scorpio, they give you a gift. Wataangusha mafuta ya gari na 15 shillings and mtaanza kushalingilia serikali inafanya kazi. Then tuingie Sagittarius, wajipange. Capricorn, January 2025, you start feeling the heat, which will be in the 10th month. Sisi hatutakuwa tumeruka mwaka. Sisi tutakuwa tunangojea nini? Aquarius na Pisces. Then Aries, March. When you are starting the new year, you people will be too deep, too late, deep in campaigning for 2027. Hawa watu hakuna kazi watafanya, and they are not going to work at all. Because the template was not even to work at all. It has never been to work at all. It has always been to take what is yours. Swabs, World Economic Program, World Economic Forum is not even hidden. Aliwaambia, you will have nothing and you will be happy. I was in Kilimani the day before yesterday. I went to see a friend, and every time I go see them, I like going to their balcony. Not because I like being up in the sky, but because from the sky I can have a bird's eye view on what is happening. Kilimani is already a China center. There's nothing to be proud about Kilimani. On purpose. Again, black people, when will you wake up? That is the question. Someone is asking, what do we do? I just said it. Start creating communities. We are in the age of Aquarius, which is the social. Start creating communities. I don't know how you are going to do it. Start creating communities. A community together, you can create what is called a corporation. A corporation can stop the sale of Nairobi National Park. The world is a stage. Munapenda sana kuona Discovery Channel na National Geographic. Hiyo ni content. Hiyo ni content. Ati wazungu wanashika ati crocodile nini. No, the crocodiles zinaendanga zinachukua Mamba Village. Zinachukuliwa Mamba Village. Zinadungwa shindano, mtu anaenda na shoot nao content. Big content. Inapelekwa Tana River. Ati we have been following this crocodile for 9 years. Wewe ulisikia wapi? Mtu anaingia kwa maji ata anashika crocodile na anapima ati from the tail to the head. It is 9 feet long. Hiyo ni content. And their content sells for billions of dollars because it is shown on their TV. It is shown on their Discovery channels. Pay-per-view. The moment you realize how much content you have been consuming, wewe ukifikiria ati mzungu ni mnoma, ndio utajua ile dunia unaishi ni very synthetic. Wewe sasa ndio umekuwa content creator hatu. Oh my god, this is even content. Na tumetenga, na tumefanya. Hiyo si content. Content ni following the wild beast. Content ni simba zina hunt elephant. Ulisikia wapi? The elephant is sedated, isolated from the rest, transported in a helicopter, dropped in a Maasai Mara kwenye kumejaa simba na nini na ndovu. They don't mix. Then they shoot content at night. I think the lions are so hungry. A team of 17, they are so hungry. No, they starve the lions. The lions are caught, locked up in cages for like almost a month. Then they shoot content. Sijui nini mbaya na nyinyi wa Afrika. Hiyo ni content on another level. It's sent to National Geographic. Wewe utabishana si content. Wewe unakuanga hapo. What is real in this world? Ushaijiuliza? Uwezi jiuliza. Kila National Geographic. Nye nataka vidi kia nyamo. Babu yako, nyanya yako hawajai huwa dhwariga. Your own grandmother and grandfather hujaisikia story kwenyu na mnakaa the slopes of Mount Kenya. You have never heard. It used to take a whole village to hunt one animal. Dhwariga, Swara used to take a whole village. That is why you have paintings of animals zimebebwa kwa shoulders na miti kama zimeinama. It used to take a whole village. So how dare you come telling me atumeweza kufuata lions for months na lion unatoa Nairobi National Park na urudisha usiku. Hiyo itangwa content for National Geographic, which you cannot afford because they get billions of dollars showing that thing back in their own country. The topic for the live was just that. I have to go. I have consultations to do. Hata nimepitisha masaa. Shit. So sorry. I have to go now. Do have a beautiful... We'll come back later. It's Thursday, expansion, Jupiter. We'll come back with some more deeper mind facts. However, understand every time you see a form of limitation, it has been crafted on purpose. There's no limitations in changing those bills. There's no limitations in scrapping those bills. And the next time you see Kimani Ichung'wah near you, kick him in the balls. Kick him in the balls. Or kick him in the mouth.